A warm welcome along to Istanbul. It's game day 13 of the Basketball Champions League. Besiktas set to host Oostende in a crunch clash in Group D of the regular season. A very good evening from me, Tim Long. We're at the Akatlar Arena here in Turkey, third hosting fourth on the penultimate game day of this stage of the competition. Both teams locked level at 7 and 5, but both finding form at just the right time. Besiktas put their 4-game winning streak up against Oostende's 6-game win streak. Something has to give here tonight. In this section of the competition, the regular season consists of 32 teams split across 4 groups of 8. Our focus is on Group D, where later tonight Strasbourg host Bologna, and then tomorrow evening Prometheus welcome Neptunas and Medi Beirut entertain Petrol Olympia. It is incredibly tight and tense in Group D. The top 4 of the 8-team group making the playoffs. Bologna have already qualified, but Prometheus are within touching distance in second, and then only one win separates third place Besiktas and fourth place Oostende down to 6th place Strasbourg. It is 4 teams playing for 2 places in the postseason, and 2 of those teams collide here this evening. Both 7 and 5 so far, Besiktas and Oostende in those sought-after positions, but Neptunas and Strasbourg both at 6 and 6, snapping at their heels this game week. It doesn't get much bigger than this at this stage of the competition for these 2 clubs. Besiktas are expected to make the playoffs, given they've won their regular season groups in each of the last 2 campaigns. Oostende, however, looking to make history by getting past this stage for the first time ever. A look at their roster: TJ Williams key, a team-high 12.9 points, as well as 2.1 assists per game. Nemanja Jurisic, a team second best, 12.4 points and a team-high 4.9 rebounds per contest. And Dusan Djordjevic with a team-high 3.7 assists. And also keys Chase Fieler, an all-rounder, 9.3 points, 3.5 boards, 2.3 assists. Some potential protagonists in a storyline that is set to unfold tonight, and what a storyline it's been through the course of the campaign for Besiktas as well. Jason Rich leads them with 15.3 points, also a team second best, 3.4 assists. He's shooting 46% from downtown through the season. Inside, Ivan Buva, a team second best, 14.6 points and a team high 5.9 rebounds. And then Phil Pressey at point guard, averaging 4 assists and 1.6 steals per game, both of those team highs. Robin Benzing, another key player, a team third best, 11.8 points per game in one of those centre positions, playing either at centre or power forward. Oostende looked absolutely dead and buried after their game day 6 defeat to Besiktas in Belgium. But their response has been an emphatic one, winning each of their last 6, having won just 1 of their first 6 this season. We're ready for the official introduction of the 2 sets of players, starting with the travelling team from Belgium. 7 and 5, 4th in Group D, as we've seen, 1 win ahead of Neptunas and Strasbourg for a playoff spot, but that hardly tells the story. They started with 5 defeats in their first 6. Their only win in that spell coming by just 2 points against Neptunas on game day 3. Remarkably, they've since won 6 in a row, the first 5 of those 6, all by 4 points or fewer. By 3 at Strasbourg, by 4 at Prometheus, by 1 against Bologna, by 2 at Neptunas, and by 2 again at Petrol Olympia. Then last week they beat Medi Beirut by 20 by a score of 82 to 62. Dario Jurga is the head coach for the Belgian champions. And now the introduction of the home team from Istanbul, Turkey. Besiktas at 7 and 5 as well, 1 place higher, only ahead of Oostende on points differential though. They started with a win before losing their next 4 in a row. The 7-point game day 6 win at Oostende got them back on track. It started a run of 6 wins in their last 7. Their only defeat since game day 5 came here against Medi Beirut on game day 8. They are currently on a 4-game winning streak, last week winning by just a single point in Bologna, 70 to 71. In that game day 6 meeting, it was a massive third quarter that saw Besiktas pull away at Oostende. They were trailing by 3 at half-time. The Turks won the third quarter 9-24 to go up by 12. Oostende could only reduce that margin to 7 by the end of the game. Besiktas, led by coach Duško Ivanović, shot 66% inside compared to 49% for the hosts. And they won the game, the Turks, despite losing the offensive rebound count 13-1. They had 7 fewer turnovers and shot the better percentages inside and out to make up for that startling number on the backboards. Neither of these teams' offenses rank in the top 20 in the regular season. Besiktas at 77.3 points per game, Oostende at 75.5. So do expect a more defensive game today. The away side a little more accurate on the inside. The hosts better from long range, where they're shooting 36.4%. Besiktas ranked bottom for offensive rebounds, just 6.8 a game. And they're also last for points scored in second chance opportunities at 6.5 a game. So not particularly surprising, that 13-1 offensive rebounding count the last time these two sides met, but Oostende showing that they can limit Besiktas even more on the boards. And the Belgians, well, as we see the officiating team for tonight, Oostende may well have an advantage on the boards, but they do commit more turnovers than any other team at 14.4 per contest. And that is a large part of the reason why Besiktas were able to win that game back in Belgium on game day 6. Lasisi, Djordjevic, Kestelut, Filou and Maric is the starting 5 for Oostende. A big job for them here tonight under coach Dario Jurga to try and keep that run going. Looking to make it 7 wins on the trot after such a poor start, and Besiktas' season has followed the same kind of path as well. A terrible beginning, an emphatic finish. Will it be enough though? Presi, Veysolalu, Yıldızlı, Buva and Rich, the starting 5 for them. And led of course by coach Duško Ivanović. Euro Challenge champions in 2012, Besiktas beating French side Chalon by 5 in the final. They've been in continental competition every season since then, first in the EuroLeague, then in the Euro Cup, and then the last 2 seasons in this competition, reaching the last 16 last season, the last 32 the previous season. They did win their regular season group on both of those previous campaigns in the Basketball Champions League, but they suffered a 5-point aggregate defeat to Medi Beirut in the last 16 last season, and they went out to Pinar Karşıyaka the previous season in that last 32 tie. They're not going to win the group this time around, but they all hope to go even further in the competition. Besiktas have won 6 of their last 7, having lost 4 of the first 5. Oostende have won their last 6 in a row, their best ever run in the competition, having won just 1 of their first 6. Both teams wonderful turnarounds, personified by a number of players as well. For Besiktas, Jason Rich has averaged 19.6 points in his last 5 games, having scored 11 points per game in his first 5. And for Oostende, TJ Williams has scored at least 14 points in his last 5, having not hit the 14-point mark in any of his previous 5 in the competition. 2 teams red hot, firing on all cylinders, and it is very much crunch time in this competition. 32 teams will next week be cut to 16. The hopes of these 2 are precariously poised. A pivotal 40 minutes of basketball awaits here. It's the 2-time Turkish champions and former Euro Challenge champions Besiktas who start with the ball against the 19-time and reigning champions of Belgium. A chance to go to the line for the first score for Ivan Buva. The aggressive start inside for Besiktas, one of the keys to beating Oostende in that previous meeting. They shot 66% from two-point range in that game in Belgium. Boover gets the first but misses the second. Djordjevic lost it at centre court. Now it's a chance in transition. Pressy moves it on, receives it back, and great transition defence from Oostende to make up for that turnover. They still may well be punished, and they get away with it. I mentioned already that they rank right at the top of the league in terms of turnovers. Djordjevic trying to be more careful with the ball this time. Can't get the score though. And here comes Besiktas at pace again with Phil Pressy. Fired inside. It was a high catch, a difficult one and a good one in the end, but the option to pass it. Yıldızlı trying to get it out to the corner to Veyselolu, and he'd moved out of position. Djordjevic trying to find a path into the paint again, had it stripped, so two turnovers already against Dusan Djordjevic. Nice back pass inside, and the first field goal, an emphatic one from Ivan Boover. Djordjevic harassed again by Pressy. He wasn't happy on that previous turnover. He wanted a call from the officials, and he's still having a go. And that's another turnover, so 3 turnovers inside the opening 2 minutes for Oostende. Dusan Djordjevic is not happy at all right now. Here's Jason Rich, leading scorer for Besiktas. Looking to work with Boover. Hangs it high for Boover, who misses close to the basket. Djordjevic down the floor quickly once more. Assisi moves it on. Going one-on-one in the paint and scoring on the hook shot was Marin Maric. Oostende finally up and running. It's taken nearly 2.5 minutes, but they only trail by 1. Pressy trying to thread the eye of the needle, picked off by Maric. A big job at both ends of the floor from the big centre. Maric inside had it knocked away though, and another turnover for Oostende. Here's Pressy. Now Rich to fire the 3. Got it. Besiktas by 4. Jason Rich up and running already. Assisi takes it on the dribble, creates space on the perimeter, and to answer back straight away is Chase Filou. Shooting 36% from downtown this season. And Oostende back within 1. Rich around the high screen. Boover rolling inside, it goes across to this near side. Kick to the corner to the open man. Lovely ball movement around the perimeter, but the shot off the mark from Yıldızlı. Spin move edge of the paint, taking on the shot, knocking it down with the contact was Filou. So a chance for 6 points in just a few seconds for Chase Filou. He hit the 3-pointer a few seconds ago, and now a chance at a 3-point play. Filou, who had 9 points in last week's win, has got 6 already here. Oostende have their first lead as well. Yıldızlı on to Rich. Rich around the screen. Nice catch inside. And Bouva doing some damage again. And these two neck and neck after the first 4 minutes. Djordjevic moves it on. Filou to the corner. Wide open. Looked for three. Would it go down? Maric trying to grab the offensive rebound, and the last touch called off a Besiktas player. Bouva has 5 points already for Besiktas, and Filou has 6 already for Oostende. They're trying to take the lead again. Maric from the stripe puts it in. A positive start as well for Marin Maric, who's now got 4. Rich bounce pass into Bouva again. This time turns the ball over. Those two have connected well up until that point. Here goes Djordjevic. Maric recovers it. Lassisi now on the perimeter, guarded by 2, trying to find the open man. And there's a foul on the interior against Bouva. That's the second on Besiktas. It's going to be a good battle on the inside between Bouva and Maric. Vincent Kesteluk getting the ball in, and the quick finish overhead from Djordjevic off the inbound pass. Oostende by 4. They've hit 5 of their 7 attempts from the field. They might have taken a few more had they not turned the ball over a heap already. That one knocked away from Maric. Can seem to have recovered from those early turnovers though. 4 in the opening 3 minutes. They haven't turned it over since. They've got themselves up by 4 and a chance to extend their lead here with Djordjevic out to the near side. Wide open. Kesteluk for 3. Doesn't go down. A couple of open looks from this near side that they haven't taken full advantage of, and then fouled in transition was Pressy. That's the second foul on Djordjevic. 4.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Oostende lead by 4. Phil Pressy to inbound. He didn't play in that previous meeting between these two on game day 6. Oh, wiped out. Unsportsmanlike called against Filou. The late closeout, and he came flying full pout at the shooter, who threw the pump fake to get him up in the air. Talk about biting. Benzing felt the bite. So that will be foul shots and possession for Besiktas. A big chance for them to overturn this deficit. They'll get the 3 foul shots. And the officials are having a look at the video and making sure. So far for Besiktas, 5 points for Ivan Bouva, 3 for Jason Rich. Only 2 scorers for the home team in the opening 5.5 minutes. Only 3 scorers for Oostende so far, 6 for Filou, who's just committed the unsportsmanlike foul. 4 for Maric and 2 for Djordjevic. They may well have reversed that decision. He's making a play to try and block the 3-point shot after Benzing throws the pump fake. And the officials deeming he made a legitimate play for the ball. So Besiktas get the possession, and it's just a regular foul. Here is Benzing on the perimeter again, this time chance to pull the trigger but misses it. It was Oostende's 3rd team foul of the quarter. So just one more to give as Lassisi moves it across to this near side. Here's Filou through the lane across to the far side. They'll shoot a three again, way over the top of the basket. And Besiktas able to grab the rebound once more. Another opportunity to close this gap. Buva kicks it out to the double team. They move it on nicely to the free-man Pressy, who meanders into the paint, kicks it to the far side. And both teams struggling from downtown right now. Both are 1 of 4. Mid-range jumper this time off the mark for TJ Williams. Pressy. And both teams struggling to score from all distances and angles right now. Rich firing it up. The contested long-range 2 doesn't go. Rebound from his opposite number, Marin Maric. Oostende a chance to extend their lead again here. Besiktas have to be really careful because they keep giving Oostende opportunities to create a bit of breathing room early on. TJ Williams, dazzling dribble out to Maric, and he misses from close range. Pressy going through the gears all the way, hanging it high off the window. That doesn't drop either. And here comes Oostende just as fast down the other end of the floor, even faster. And Elias Lassisi, off the burst of the basket, extends the lead to 6. Besiktas finally punished for not taking a chance to close the gap. That's the largest lead of this first quarter. The first basket in a good couple of minutes. That's going to be a foul against Lassisi. And Jason Rich taking on the responsibility to try and answer back. And he draws the 4th foul on Oostende as a team with 2 minutes and 19 seconds remaining in the quarter. Any further fouls from the Belgian champions will send Besiktas to the line, shooting foul or not. Pressy. The fake 3 this time moved on towards the baseline. Still doesn't pay dividends for Besiktas as they move the ball only into a tight area and get trapped and turn it over. They're on a real drought right now. The 3-pointers haven't been going down. It was a nice idea to try and threaten the 3 and move it on, but it wasn't the right pass. Here goes TJ Williams, dishes it off, charging through the paint, but losing the handle on the ball was Desirom. Final 2 minutes of the first quarter, wide open to shoot the 3 is Benzing, and another miss, and the tip won't go either. They're just 1 of 6 from downtown now, Besiktas. Four fouls on each team now. Besiktas catching Oostende up in that regard, but certainly not catching them up in terms of the scoreline. Just 8 points for them in the first 8 and a bit minutes. Here's Schwartz for the first time, across to that far side, turns it over. Here come Besiktas, moved on to Benzing, and he puts it in to stop the rot. Their first score in about 5 minutes. And they close the gap down to 4. Another 3 for Oostende, another miss. Both teams suffering a drought from long range. Gibson. Benzing swings it around across to this near side to Mutov. He's going to take on the sidestep 3, and it's to the side of the basket. Now a chance for Oostende with Williams, their leading scorer so far this season. Again, the 3 threatened. Schwartz drives inside though into traffic. The baser mid-range jumper wouldn't go. The offensive rebound for Jurisic, and then a foul. And these two teams have now hit just 2 of their 13 three-point attempts combined. A chance for Oostende to go back up by 6 to tie the largest lead, and the first one good for Nemanja Jurisic. Had 19 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal and a block on game day 6 for Oostende, and ended up on the losing side. He was 3 of 5 inside, 3 of 6 from downtown in that one. 2 of 2 from the foul line here, and the lead back to 6. Sipai. Now Gibson. Left-hand dribble drive, kicking it back towards Gibson, intercepted and recovered as well, and moved on to TJ Williams, who goes through to finish. Oostende by 8. And Besiktas punished for their 6th turnover of the opening quarter. 4 seconds to shoot, and to get the final shot of the quarter, and bursting all the way through to do so was Kenan Sipai. A chance at a 3-point play as Besiktas look to end a dismal first quarter with a little bit of joy. There's the turnover, and you can see Gibson was hoping the ball would go out of bounds after it was tipped, but Schwartz and Williams were on him like a rash. And Oostende getting the benefit of their extra hustle. Now 2.7 seconds for Oostende to try and have one more shot before the quarter is through. Williams just has to throw it up from centre court here, and he launches one. Doesn't get it away in time, and that will do it. The Belgian champions lead by 5 here on the road in Istanbul at the end of 1. It's Besiktas 13, Oostende 18. Oostende recovering from all of their early turnovers, and in the end forcing more turnovers, or as many on Besiktas as they had through the opening 10 minutes. They've shot the ball well on the inside, 6 of 10, but both teams struggling from downtown, just 2 of 12 combined, 1 of 7 for Besiktas, 1 of 5 for Oostende. Besiktas had that drought of around 5 minutes that they're really suffering from at the moment. It allowed Oostende to open up an 8-point lead. That has at least been cut to 5 for the end of the first quarter. The home team led by the 5 points of Ivan Buva, all scored early on. And Oostende led by the 6 points of Chase Fieler, all scored in the space of about 30 seconds. The big rim rocker from Buva hoped to set the tone for Besiktas, but then they faded. And Oostende grew into the first quarter. Strong play attacking from Marin Maric. The hook shot got them on the board after 2.5 minutes, their first field goal. And this is the only 3-pointer knocked down by Besiktas from their main man, Jason Rich. His only score of the game so far, though. Altogether, Besiktas shooting just 5 of 15 from the field, 33%. This is the only 3 for Oostende, who've shot 7 of 15 from the floor for 47%. Here we go, start of the second quarter, Besiktas 13, Oostende 18. And it's the away team who start with the ball here. Jurisic. Strong move in the paint and floats it over the top of the defense after creating the space. Oostende by 7. Jurisic now up to 4 points, his other 2 coming from the foul line. Here goes Gibson. High entry pass, caught in traffic and adjusted to put it in. Dusan Jantekin, the 7'3", 2 meters 21 centre. Schwartz, cross-court pass to this near side to Boozer. Boozer trying to get the defence moving, passing lane disrupted though, and a turnover. Besiktas looking to make it a one-possession game, having trailed by 8. Gibson, again the pick and roll with the big man who charges inside. Rejected though. Did Jurisic get a piece of it? Either way, Jantekin was unable to score. And the foul then committed by Yıldızlı. It was Yıldızlı who was attacking. Well, you make your own mind up about that one. And then he committed the foul down the other end of the floor as well. It's Yıldızlı's second, so he goes to the bench. Schwartz receives it back from Desiron. Here's Williams. He's going to take on the long two. It falls short. Like a magnet, though, into the hands of Desiron, who turns and puts it in off the backboard. Oostende back up by 7. On the perimeter now, Jantekin. Hands it off to Rich. Jantekin setting the high screen. Rich looking to work behind it. Bounce pass into Jantekin. He's forced into the turnover, though. And that time catching the ball further away from the basket. And struggling to make his mark. He's only played 7 minutes per game across 6 games this season. That one will still be Oostende's ball as we look at the turnover count. They've turned it over on 7 occasions already. This time they get away with it as Ivan Buva comes back into the game and Jantekin goes to the bench. Short minutes for him again here. Williams. Jurisic, right hand dribble drive, aggressive move, full of positivity, full of penetration and full of a finish. Oostende by 9. This is now the largest lead. Buva. Nice cut to the basket, and the layup will fall for Gibson, his first score. And the pass was pinpoint to him and had to be in traffic. That brings Oostende's latest run to an end, and then the foul is the second of the second quarter on Besiktas. It's on Kenan Sipahi. TJ Williams set to inbound, had 21 points, 3 steals, or 3 assists and a steal in last week's win. 7 of 14 from the field, 7 of 7 from the foul line. Here's Schwartz, back to Williams. Williams into the paint, quick to pull the trigger, gets it to drop, and TJ Williams is starting to feel it. Oostende up by 9 again. Sipahi. Buva. Buva looking to back in, perhaps. Help defense is there from Williams. Buva goes one-on-one. Williams comes back at him, picks his pocket, but commits the foul. Buva started the game really strong for Besiktas and has recently come back in off the bench, was looking to get back in business. But it's TJ Williams down the other end of the floor starting to get in business for Oostende. Gayic hands it off to Sipahi. Around the screen on the perimeter, stuck to by Williams so tightly, but he found a pass as well. A lovely ball into Gayic, and Gayic did the rest. Oh, he's trapped it. And Besiktas come up with the steal. Nice pass again to Gajic, who scores 4 quick-fire points. Suffocating defence on the inbound. And they have cut a 9-point deficit to 5 as we have a timeout here. 3.5 minutes into the second quarter. Besiktas 21, Oostende 26.
Get the ball high, where you are. You cutting, you are here. You come here after that. But let's go, not on 1 meter. They are aggressive, they grabbing and holding. You cannot do like this. Hey, listen, pick and roll, Nemanja, just keep focused to the end. Stay open like this. You need to talk to him if the guy go behind the back. Aggressive people, here, don't pass, this way.
Both teams taking about the same amount of shots. 3 offensive rebounds to 0 in favour of Oostende. Although 2 extra turnovers from the Belgian team as well. So it's all about field goal percentage at the moment. And Oostende shooting 55% from the floor. Besiktas just 45%, but they have hit a couple in quick succession to close a 9-point gap down to 5. No surprises in terms of those rebounding numbers. It's much what we expected given what happened between these two on game day 6. Besiktas haven't had the answers in terms of those offensive rebounds. It's now 54 minutes of basketball against Oostende this season. They've only grabbed 1 offensive rebound. TJ Williams swatted away by Boover. No way through for Williams that time. He's really started to take matters into his own hands on offense. And Boover that time on defense said, "Not in my house." And right at the end of the shot clock as well, it in the end forces a turnover via the shot clock violation. Gibson. Jason Rich working with Boover, who rolls inside. Kick back out to the perimeter. Sipai forced to cling on to it. They've got 5 seconds to create a shot here. And it goes to Gajic. Gajic, who's been really strong since coming in this second quarter. He draws the contact and will go to the line for 2. What a positive introduction. He's been the spark for Besiktas' comeback here from 9 down, potentially to get back within 3. A chance to make it 6 points for Gajic in about a minute and a half on court. In fact, it's even less than that. 5 points in 71 seconds since coming in off the bench as he misses the second one. Williams. Last season averaging 6.9 points per game this season. When it goes to Jurisic. Oh, somehow it found a way through for Desiron. And Oostende keeping Besiktas at bay. Jason Rich, cross-court pass, Gibson looks to drive in, so packed in the paint. And Oostende forcing the miss, and now a chance to come forward, pouring forward in transition. The thrown pass from TJ Williams, lobbed over the top of the defense for the big score on the big break. Jurisic putting the exclamation mark on that alley-oop pass. Oostende have opened up an 8-point gap again. Timeout called just across the midway point of the second quarter.
Hey,
It's 42, mismatch, has the ball here. We play 2, push him baseline. Hey, Kai, take shot, you can shot, take shot.
In offense now, try to avoid his cold. Try to avoid entries on him. So what we will do one down. One down.
Here's a look at the fast break now. Lasisi on to Williams. Williams hung high for Jurisic to finish. And that extends the Oostende lead to 8 points. They've led by as many as 9, but Besiktas were threatening to reel them back in. Besiktas have solved the problem of turning the ball over. They haven't turned the ball over yet in this second quarter, but they just can't hit their shots, and Oostende are punishing them. Can they hit something here? Bouva lost the handle on the ball, able to recover, able to create space and able to score to get Besiktas back in business. Williams. 7 points now for Bouva, his first score since the first few minutes of the game. Williams again. On by Lombrecht. This is Jurisic, trapped by the double team, able to produce the Houdini move and then the reverse layup. Oostende by 8 again. It's coming so easily for them right now, much to the frustration of Coach Ivanovic. Fuming at that defense. Rich. Gayic. Now Pressy. Here's Rich to unload the 3. Got it. His second from downtown. And just his second score overall, Jason Rich, but it closes the gap to 5. 3.5 minutes to play in the first half. He's 2 of 2 from the outside. Williams. Moema backing in, trying to find a pass away from the double team. Now a chance for Besiktas to run. It's knocked away from behind by Moema. It will still be home side ball. A big 3 minutes and 11 seconds for his team before the halftime interval. Here he goes again. Rich, 3 of 3 from the outside, and Besiktas have closed the gap down to just 2. They've looked to their main man, and Jason Rich has stepped up. The timeout called now by Oostende, who've led by as many as 9. And coach Dario Gerger wants to talk things through, with Besiktas hot on their heels again. Besiktas' biggest player stepping up with some big baskets at a big moment of this ball game. They were trailing by 9. They'd had given up momentum heading towards the halftime interval. Richard only scored 3 points in about 13 minutes. He's since scored 6 in about a minute and a half. And that gap has been closed to just 2. Williams. Jurisic on to Lombrecht. He's left completely unguarded, tempted into shooting the three and misses it. And now a chance for Besiktas to get level or maybe even take the lead. Rich crosses over, pulls up for the three. 4 of 4 from the outside. Besiktas back up from 9 down. 12 points for Jason Rich. Williams. Muema looking to answer back and does to restore the lead for Oostende. He's shooting 46% from downtown this season. Pressy. On to Jason Rich, who's got the hot hand right now. This time the pass into Buva. He floats one up and scores. The defense more concerned about the shooting ability and shooting form of Jason Rich. It left Buva with more room to operate on the inside. Saved on the baseline by Lombrecht. Jurisic. Forced away to the perimeter. And then tries to burst away from his man on the baseline, but a foul has been called against Gajic. Just over a minute and a half to go in the first half, and now nothing to separate these two, 35-35. Jason Rich hitting all 4 of his long-range attempts. Although answering back to the latest one was Jean-Marc Muema. Williams on to Lassisi. Back out to TJ. TJ bundling his way to the basket and scores. TJ Williams now up to 8 points. Jason Rich draws the double team again and opens up the space on the near side. They'll try and move it around, Pressy. He looks to penetrate, kicks it to the corner. Gajic for 3, got it, and Besiktas has a team of 5 of 5 from long range here in the second. And that after going just 1 of 7 in the first quarter. Off the window it goes for Williams, who just looks to bulldoze his way through the defense. Rich again. Cross-court pass. He's starting to run the show. Here's Jason Rich, the small inside hook from Buva. And that's an out of bounds against Loic Schwartz, stepping on this near sideline. Besiktas really have turned up the quality and the intensity towards the end of the first half. And to try and stem the flow of their offense, Oostende called the timeout.
Don't come on the screen the first time. They're going to be fouled. Wait.
And here's a look at that turnover. Just stepping out of bounds was Loic Schwartz. And Besiktas lead by 1 and have possession with just 12.8 seconds remaining of the first half. What a turnaround it's been for them over the last few minutes. And for this man in particular, as Jason Rich draws contact with 9.1 remaining. One of two Besiktas players in double figures in this first half, along with Ivan Buva now, who's got 11 points. Rich has 12. And that's out of bounds off the leg of Gibson, so 7.3 seconds for Oostende to try and have the final shot of the first half and to try and go into the locker room with the lead. Djordjevic back in for the first time in a long time. Williams going through the gears all the way to the basket, couldn't quite get it to drop. And Djordjevic failing to tip it as well. After all the hard work from TJ Williams, he was lying flat out on the deck as it was rolling around the rim. But he didn't get the good fortune. And it's Besiktas who take the lead into the halftime break. The slenderest of advantages as well by just a single point. Besiktas 40, Oostende 39 at the half. Well, so many tight games involving these two clubs through the course of the campaign. It was inevitable that we would have another. Both shooting good percentages on the inside, but Oostende struggling from the outside. Only took 2 3-point attempts in the whole of that second quarter. Besiktas found their range to now be 5 of 11. 5 more assists for the home team. Still no offensive rebounds. Here just 1 against Oostende in a game and a half now this season. But 4 more turnovers for Oostende in the half. 11 first half turnovers is something they will definitely want to improve after the break. Besiktas only had 2 of their 7 in that second quarter. 12 points for Jason Rich to lead the way of all scorers. Jurisic has 10 to lead Oostende. Also on double figures is Ivan Buva for the home team with 11. 5 assists already for Pressy of Besiktas. And there's the leading scorers. TJ Williams with 8 for Oostende as well. And coming in off the bench and having a real impact to score 8 points for Besiktas was Samet Gayic, who only played a few minutes of game time. His 8 points coming in 6.5 minutes. So 40-39 to Besiktas at the break. These two teams with even records this season, both at 7 and 5. It is a huge second half to come. The winner of this one will put themselves within touching distance of the playoffs. The loser will need things to go very much in their favour for them and elsewhere, perhaps on the final game day of the regular season. It's all about getting the win tonight. Plenty of hustle shown by Oostende there and by TJ Williams attacking strong to the basket. And all of that hustle has produced plenty of turnovers, but Besiktas started to protect the ball better in the second quarter. Oostende 7 turnovers in the first, 4 in the second. And it has been their big Achilles heel this season. They've turned the ball over more times than any other team in the competition. And the fact that they can't protect the ball and Besiktas can't rebound the ball on their opponent's backboard has rather evened up in terms of the shot count, with Oostende taking just 1 more shot over the first 20 minutes. Oostende shooting 59% from the field, which is slightly better than Besiktas, but the home team have been able to knock down 5 3-pointers compared to just 2 for Oostende, and that essentially is where the difference comes from right now. And the outside shooting of Jason Rich, who's 4 of 4 from downtown. And they were only 1 of 7 from the outside in the first half, Besiktas, which makes them 4 of 4 altogether in the second quarter. Gayic coming into the game provided the spark as well, scoring 6 points. A big impact from the power forward who's at his season average already. Lovely pass that time to him from Kenan Sipai. And there's some more of that hustle play. Pounced upon by Sipai to dish it out to Gaik. Two sets of players really fighting hard. Very little freedom in terms of room to operate. Some nice passes to try and penetrate that traffic in the paint. We saw in that first half, and then chances on the fast break. The only time either team were really getting any space. And they worked this one superbly, Oostende. For one of the plays of the game so far, Williams hanging it high, and Jurisic converting as he moved to double figures for the Belgians. Boover on double digits as well with 11 points. His 11 coming off 5 of 9 shooting. Jason Rich with 12 points off 4 of 5 shooting. He's missed his only attempt on the inside, but 4 of 4 from downtown. And Jurisic, far too easy to get away from the double team here. He's 4 of 5 from the field for 10 points in 10.5 minutes to lead the team on the road from Belgium. Half-time score, Besiktas 40, Oostende 39. Do make sure you join us for the second half in just a few minutes' time.
far, call head immediately. Because it's easier than call you, okay? So we go then with the head. Hey, listen, no, you, but if he force us to the side too much, we go in head immediately so we can have hand off or swing the other side, okay? Hey, listen, we need to keep intensity. Same intensity what we have. Contest shots, be there, okay? No one-on-one situations. We cannot finish a quarter with the 3 fouls. We need to spend team fouls, okay?
Welcome back to this Group D contest, this vital Group D contest between Besiktas and Oostende. The home team leading by just 1 as we get ready to start the second half. Besiktas 40, Oostende 39. Both teams tied 7-5 so far, and now just 1.5 games remaining in the regular season. These two came in 3rd and 4th, and Besiktas turning the ball over after just 8 seconds at the start of the second half. The winner will be on the brink of a place in the playoffs. The loser, perhaps, will be on the brink of elimination. Djordjevic had a poor start to the game, then stayed on the bench for a long time. He's back in at the start of this 3rd quarter. Here goes Lasisi, driving inside. Nice pass backwards. Unable to finish, though, was Maric, and quickly down the floor come Besiktas, but the missed layup for Veselolu. And stop and pop 3, plenty of room to get it to drop for Ilyas Lasisi. Oostende back ahead. And again, Coach Ivanovic not happy. Largest lead so far in the game has been 9 for Oostende on a couple of occasions. Besiktas getting back into it, though, through the hot hands of this man, but he misses that time. Jason Rich on the inside. He's done all of his damage from long range so far. Another turnover very quickly here, and a 3-on-1 fast break opportunity. They're getting back in transition, and a foul called on the attempted block from Filou. Robin Benzing at the line, scored 11 points when these two met on game day 6. He had 12 last week at Bologna. He was 4 of 4 from the foul line in that previous meeting against Oostende, but he misses the first one here. He does get the second to go, and we are level again, 41-41. Lasisi. Here's Chase Filou, had a 6-point burst in the first half, but he turns the ball over again here. Pressy across to the far side, and the 3-point shot goes for Benzing. Besiktas building up steam here at the start of the 3rd quarter. And they're back ahead by 3. Oh, aggressive move, straight to the hole goes Maric, and now he'll go straight to the line. First foul on Besiktas here in the 3rd is on Veselolu. And the 3-pointer down the other end for Benzing takes the shooting percentage from downtown for Besiktas to 50. And that after hitting just 1 of 7 in the first quarter. They have hit 5 in a row now. And Benzing doubled his tally to 6 points. Maric is up to 5 now, but only 1 of 2 on the line. Rich going through a gap. Can he get it to fall? Yes, he can. Does it count? No, the foul is called on the floor. Boover and Rich, and all of those in Besiktas white and black. Appealing that should have been a chance to add 1. And the basket doesn't count, though. The foul was before the shot attempt. Rich. Benzing inside, back out to Rich, wide open for 3 again. Yes! A 5-star shooting show from the outside for Jason Rich. He's 5 of 5 and Besiktas have hit their last 6. They lead by 5, it's their largest lead. Filou goes across the paint, back out to Djordjevic. Lazizi doesn't waste any time in answering back from long range. Oostende hit just their 3rd three-pointer, and they close the gap to 2. Rich again, they can't leave him open on the perimeter. 2 men on him right now. And Boover then turns it over. A chance for Oostende to get back level, and Boover commits the foul. Besiktas opening up their largest lead at 5, and all of a sudden it looks like that lead could dissipate. Non-shooting foul, so Kesteluk will inbound. Djordjevic. Maric trying to force it over the top of the defense, misses, and Rich grabs the rebound. Moved on to Benzing, who drives in, misses, grabbed though, as Besiktas finally come up with an offensive rebound. It's their first offensive rebound of the game. And that three-pointer way over the top of the basket from Lazizi. And Pressy will just take the ring road around the defense and cling on to it. Besiktas by 4. Rich twisting and turning and getting blocked off, but a foul. 49-45 to the home team here. It has been a single-digit game throughout. Although Besiktas now have a chance to open up their largest lead if they can hit both of these foul shots. And Jason Rich has a chance to move to 17 points. A couple of assists on his stat line as well. You can hear the home fans trying to get right behind their team in such a crucial crunch clash here in Group D. Besiktas now lead by 6, which is their largest lead. And they look to force the turnover to extend that. So close was Phil Pressy on the press to forcing another turnover. It is now 13 turnovers for Oostende. 4 more than Besiktas, but Besiktas have only grabbed the 1 offensive rebound. Well, that's still going to be Oostende ball as Besiktas complain and protest. They feel they should have forced another turnover. And Rich is penalised for the foul. Well, it looks like they've reversed that call, and now it's Coach Djordje who's not happy. It is Besiktas ball, and the 14th turnover for Oostende, and a chance for the home team to extend their lead here. Benzing. And an unsportsmanlike foul called now against Chase Filou. What a turning point that could be 4 minutes into the 3rd quarter. It quite feasibly gives Besiktas a chance to open up the first double-digit lead of the game. They will get the foul shots and possession. Robin Benzing at the line. Although he was just 1 of 2 on his previous trip, he's got 6 points in 10.5 minutes so far tonight, as well as a steal. And that time, no trouble draining both. And Besiktas now will inbound the ball and have a chance to open up the first double-digit lead of the evening for either team. Pressing on to Rich, bounce pass out of the pressure, and the big time jam from Bova. The Turks have takeoff, and they lead by double figures. Lovely pass from Jason Rich after drawing the double team. And what a thunderous finish from Bova over the top of the defence, which was late to close him down. And that unsportsmanlike foul leads to 5 points for Besiktas, and it leads to an 11-point advantage with 16 minutes to play. The best possible outcome for the home team. Nice pass inside, and a foul as Kestelroot looked to score. It's on Veiselolu. A hard foul, catching him across the head as well. And what a perfect start to the third quarter for Besiktas. They're leading 16-6 so far in this period. Kestelroot trying to change that, the 23-year-old Belgian power forward, 6.5 points, 3.5 rebounds per game so far this season. And he gets them both. It's back to being a single-digit game, just. Nice pass into Rich. He's forced away, though, by the flying Schwartz. Oostende now off the back of that big rebound and defensive stop, trying to close a gap. Over the head pass will go beyond the baseline, risky in traffic. The Belgians are up to the foul limit for the third quarter already as well. We've only played 4.5 minutes of it. Close to another turnover there. They got lucky, really, out of bounds off the leg of Jason Rich. Kestelroot gets the ball in to Jurisic. 10 points in the first half, yet to score in the second. Moves it across to the far side, and to nobody in particular. It's another Oostende turnover. It's 15 in the game now. It's already over their season average, which is already the highest in the Basketball Champions League. Benzing on the move, press it to Rich, who pulls it for the long two and hits it. Jason Rich heating up again. 19 points off 6 of 8 shooting. That's his first 2-pointer. He's 5 of 5 from the outside. Jurisic. And there's a whistle on the play as we see the field goals in this quarter. 5 of 10 Besiktas. And Oostende struggling because of those turnovers, haven't taken anywhere near as many. And Besiktas, of course, have grabbed a couple of offensive rebounds now in the third quarter, having not had a single one in the first half. So they're getting extra shots and they're hitting extra shots. And they're opening up larger leads. Oostende trying to reel them back in. The technical was called, I think, against coach Duško Ivanović. And confirmation of that there. Dusan Djordjevic hitting the technical from the foul line, so it closes the gap to 10. And now Oostende have possession to try and make it a single-digit game again. Jurisic. Shot clock to 6 as he looks to make his move, attacking Jason Rich one-on-one. Back out, long range three will go for Loic Schwartz. Oostende looking to rekindle their flame. Back within 7. First score for Schwartz as well. Gibson. Rolling inside is Bova. It comes instead to Pressy. Bova wants it in the paint, receives it, although he had his pocket picked. Really good defense, well read from Desiron. Djordjevic uses Desiron's screen. Lovely pass out towards this near side. Kestelroot attacking inside and was able to flip it up and in. Oostende have closed the gap to 5, having trailed by 11. Here's Rich, working with Benzing. Fed inside once more, this time it does reach Buva. And Buva slips away from the defence, and a foul was called as he put it in. So a chance at a three-point play for Ivan Buva. There's the foul, the grab of the jersey from Desiron, who came up with the steal the last time those two clashed in the paint just a few moments earlier. And that time it was Buva who got the better of the battle. And Phil Pressey goes to the bench. And Buva will look to complete the three-point play to stretch the lead back to 8 with 3.5 to play in the third quarter. He's up to 18 points now. He's 2 of 3 from the line if he hits this one. And he does. He ties level with Jason Rich on 19 points as the leading scorer in the ballgame. Oostende's leader is still Jurisic, and all 10 of his came in the first half. Now a press that they're able to play out of. Here is Jurisic, goes behind the back, little head fake, going one way and then the other. No room to operate though for Desiron, and he's forced into the miss. Really good defense, first on the press, and then sinking back from Oostende. Now Besiktas able to score again, back up by 10 in no time at all. And a timeout called by Oostende with around 3 minutes to play in this third quarter. They've got a big, big job to do.
That's a no, but listen to me, that's a tough shot. Hey, he's left, he's throwing himself. DJ, Production, haydi. Listen, hey, we need to handle this. Louis. Jamal, Vinny, listen, hey. How many fouls? Okay, we are in bonus. Listen. Hey. We go 2 sides. Okay?
We take the ball quickly for doing back. We need aggressively here. Aggressively. These guys have the possibility for taking the ball. Let's give the number 3 to go on. Attention.
Well, Ivan Buva got the score as well to take us into that last time out off the pick and roll, found by Sipai, and that takes his tally to 21 for the game, having scored 19 the last time these two met. He's surpassed that already with still 13 minutes and change to go. He's now the leading scorer outright in the game, and also the leading rebounder with 5. A couple of assists, a block and a steal on that impressive all-round stat line as well. Oostende down by double digits yet again. Lassisi. TJ Williams stepped in towards the paint, moved it back instead. Still 5 seconds to shoot. Lassisi trying to feed it inside. Tight defense from Benzing, but a foul. Besiktas did have a foul to give. Oostende already at the limit. The pass into Nemanja Jurisic, who's yet to score in this second half after 10 in the first half. And a handoff on the perimeter to Williams. Here is Jurisic receiving it again, looking to attack against Benzing. He'll try and bully his way to the basket again. It's great one-on-one defense from Robin Benzing. And there's just no room to operate for Jurisic right now. Sipai. On it goes to Buva. Out to Rich, another 3! A 6-shooter from the outside tonight. Jason Rich, 6 of 6 from downtown, and Besiktas have hit their last 7. The lead up to 13 is now the largest of the evening. Williams trying to change that and does as he gets it to go off the backboard. 11 points the gap. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Buva hands it off to Gibson. Buva setting the pick, rolling back inside. It's across to Rich. This time he looks to penetrate, takes on the long 2 and hits that one as well. Jason Rich is red hot. 24 points in the game. Williams trying to answer back, off the mark. Rich the rebound as well. "13 points the advantage. Besiktas looking to pull away. Benzing. And a foul, which will send Robin Benzing to the line. And what a third quarter it has been. It was the third quarter that made the difference when these two teams met in Belgium on game day 6. It was a 9-24 third quarter in Besiktas' favour that day. It is so far a 29-16 third quarter here to the Turks. Make it 30-16. They have unloaded all of their offensive arsenal. And Oostende now down by 15. It is a mountain to climb on the road for the Belgian champions now. Benzing up to double digits. Williams. Jurisic. Strong move to the hole, and he scores his first score of the second half. Up to 12 points now. Final minute of the third. Oostende could do with a couple of defensive stops and a couple of scores before we head to the final 10 minutes. Besiktas have been on fire in this third quarter, though, and there's a miss from Kyle Gibson from the outside. They previously hit, I think, their last 7 three-point attempts in a row. The door slightly ajar for Oostende to look to make their comeback. TJ Williams, 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. He crosses over, takes on the long range 2 and banks it in. Williams not giving up hope. 11 points the gap. Shot clock turned off at the end of the third. Rich will bring the ball up the floor. Calls for the screen from Benzing. He shoots the 3 again, misses, and his run from the outside comes to an end as well. Jason Rich had been 6 of 6 from the outside before that miss. Although Besiktas still up by double digits at the end of the quarter. A 15-point lead cut to 11. It's Besiktas 70, Oostende 59. Here we go, start of the fourth quarter. And Besiktas leading by 11 against Oostende, 70-59 here. Oostende start with the ball though, have scored the last 4 points. They'll try and continue that run into the final period. And a chance at a three-point play as well. What a perfect start as Nemanja Jurisic looks to continue the comeback. Caught by Gajic across the head. 70-61 now, a chance to make it an 8-point margin with this foul shot. So 70-62, 8 points. Here's the difference. It's been as many as 15. Benzing. Rich. Gajic setting the high screen, receives it back. Moves it around. Lovely ball movement. Benzing for three. No. And the rebound, Williams. A score for Oostende here, and it really would be game on again. Filou threatening the three. Passes on the responsibility to Lassisi. Trapped in the corner, finds a way out, bursts to the foul line. Jurisic gets the defense moving, draws the double team as well. Lassisi for three, halfway down and back out again. And he puts his hands to his head in disbelief. He thought he had it, and that would have closed the gap to 5. And then a foul underneath, though, as Jean-Marc Muema made the big effort on the boards, and it's still Oostende possession. Williams leading the way so far, turning on the afterburners, forced back though. Shot clock down to the final few seconds, and it's good to close the gap to 6. Ilias Lassisi, what a run Oostende are on now. They've scored the first 7 points of the 4th quarter. Rich, 24 points in the ball game to lead the way. Benzing fouled. I make it a 9-0 run altogether, from 15 down to 6 down. And this is now a small margin with 8.5 minutes still to play. Sipahi moving it on, so too Rich towards the baseline. Gajic throwing the layup well off the mark. And Besiktas have gone stone cold. Lassisi. The Belgian champions keeping themselves in the fight for the playoffs. On it goes to Jurisic, who's fouled, and that's the 3rd on Besiktas already in just 2 minutes of the 4th quarter. After exploding in the 3rd quarter, they are imploding in the 4th. A 30-point 3rd quarter for Besiktas. They've gone over 2 minutes without a score at all here in the 4th quarter. And Oostende have scored 9 without reply. Williams dishes it off towards Jurisic. Great defense, though, from Sipahi to block the passing lane, but he turns it right back over. They're going to have to put their bodies on the line. Rich comes up with the loose ball. And Oostende retreat back into their defensive formation. Sipahi still can't get it to go, and absolutely nothing going down for the home team right now, despite a couple of good looks. Lassisi looking to work with Filou on the perimeter. A chance to go one-on-one edge of the paint against Sipahi. Help defense comes across. He's looking back out, and it's tipped out of bounds by Benzing. There's 6 seconds left on the shot clock here, as Oostende look to close the gap to 4, maybe even 3. Deep three-point shot was some way off the mark from Jurisic, an ill-advised shot. His coach not happy. They still had a few seconds to work with to try and create something. Filou off to Rich. Rich the bounce pass. Across to the far side, Benzing for three, no. It is now over 3 minutes without a score here in the fourth quarter for the home team. Williams. He's going to fire the three off the mark, and the rebound grabbed by Rich. Can Besiktas stop the rot here in the fourth quarter and hold off the challenge of Oostende down the stretch? It's been a big comeback effort. Nice pass, and there you go. They stop the bleeding. Filou scores their first points of the fourth quarter. It took nearly 4 minutes, but they lead by 8. Williams. TJ Williams with 15 points to lead the way for Oostende. Getting inside all the way, dishing it off. Lovely pass, and a Belgian backlash continues. Having trailed by 15, they are back within 6. Jurisic up to 17 points. Rich to the far side, and then Filou putting it up with contact, and he'll go to the line. Just the second team foul on Oostende here in the fourth quarter. There's the pass from Filou. Lovely piece of trickery on the perimeter there as well, throwing the pump fake to escape the first defender, and then threw the pass around the other two. They were shooting 80% from the foul line before that miss, 12 of 15. One more to come for Filou. And he hits the second. So the margin is 7 with 5.5 minutes to play. Besiktas have won 4 in a row. Oostende have won 6 in a row. Perhaps only one of these two will make it through to the playoffs. It's a huge game, and that's a huge turnover. Rich. Taking the ring road around the defense, trying to kick it back out. They win it back again, Oostende though. And the coach is fuming once more. Back-to-back turnovers. Besiktas is 12th, following the 17th for Oostende. The passing lane's disrupted as Rich looked to one of his teammates on the outside. And off the back of that, a fourth Besiktas foul here in the fourth as well, as we hit the midway point of the quarter. Jurisic thought about the three, instead drove in and got that fifth foul. So he'll go to the line off the aggressive drive as Oostende get Besiktas to the foul limit already, with still a half of this quarter to play. It's a really good decision to threaten the three and then drive inside and to get that fifth foul on the home team already. The officials are having a look at this to see, presumably, if it's an unsportsmanlike foul or not. And it is. And it's a double blow to Besiktas. Their fifth foul and an unsportsmanlike, as Oostende look to close a 7-point gap. They will now have 2 free throws and possession of the ball. Although Jurisic misses the first, here's a look at the call. There has to be a legitimate attempt to play the ball. The foul was right on the body from Buva. Jurisic hits the second, so it's a 6-point margin. And they'll try and cut that a little bit further here with 4 minutes and 51 seconds still to play. Jurisic. Williams. Creates a bit of space with the help of Jurisic, but misses his shot. TJ Williams 6 of 12 from the field. Pressy. Boover backing in. Help defense from Williams again, who makes sure he guards the perimeter as well. Boover will back in against Jurisic once more, and this time a foul. It's only the third on Oostende. The basket won't count. Jurisic not happy with the contact he received from Boover, but the foul goes on the Oostende man. And Boover draws the third foul on Oostende, so still one to give. Pressy will inbound. Jason Rich yet to score here in the fourth. He slips, recovers the loose ball though. Still had control of it. Across to the far side, Benzing threatens the three, gets inside to the elbow, well off the mark as he's guarded all the way. Oostende have really turned it up on defense here in the fourth quarter. They've only conceded 3 points in 6 minutes, although they've only scored 8. Williams, head down, driving to the hole, misses the layup, and Benzing grabs the rebound. Into the final 4 minutes of this one. Phil Pressy looking to work with Boover. He hands it off, looks to set the screen for Jason Rich to operate around. And he drives right down the lane and gets contact, and he'll go to the line as he draws the fourth foul on Oostende. Rich with a chance finally in this fourth quarter to add to his 24 points amassed over the first 3 quarters, when he was 8 of 11 from the field and 2 of 2 from the foul line. 4 rebounds, a couple of assists as well. It is just not happening for Besiktas here in the fourth at all. Even for their main man, who misses both from the stripe. 3.5 to play. The lead is still 6 points for Besiktas though. That's easy. Backs off. He'll work in the final seconds of the shot clock with TJ Williams. Jurisic calling for it desperately, edge of the paint. Williams puts it up off the mark, and Rich grabs the rebound, his 5th of the night. Besiktas taking their time in the final 10 seconds of the shot clock. Boover calling for it, lost it, recovered on the far side by Benzing. Only 2 to shoot though, throws it up from the elbow over the top of Jurisic. What a huge basket that could be from Robin Benzing. Not just in terms of this game, but in the seasons of these two clubs. Under pressure right to the end of the shot clock, so close to the turnover, so close to the shot clock violation, but he comes up with a big score.
Okay, now listen, they switched double because we said in Spanish speak, pass and weak side action. They are all focused here, hey? So weak side, fine. You understand?
Next play, yes.
Yeah.
Ready for play 2.
If we have this switches, hey, weak side action, attack, and this to the corner, open shot. Hey. Hey, let's make them out here. Listen, that's a first. Second.
What a crucial basket for Robin Benzing and Besiktas as they take the lead back to 8 points. It's been a torrid fourth quarter for them. That's just their second score of the quarter after nearly 7.5 minutes. But Oostende They've only scored a few more points and not been quite at it on offense themselves. Points at a premium down the stretch of this pivotal ball game here in the Basketball Champions League regular season. And Besiktas now with a bit of breathing room. Just over 2.5 minutes to play. Oostende looked to be on the comeback trail but have since faded. That's easy. Moema puts up the three-point shot, in and out, pop back, grabbed though by Bouva. And his big night continues. 7 rebounds, 21 points now for Ivan Bouva. Phil Prezi. The score here would be huge for Besiktas, and they will have a chance to get it from the foul line. Oostende at the limit now as Jurisic gets penalised. A chance as well for Ivan Bouva to continue this huge night with a couple of free throws. A chance to make it a double-digit lead with just over 2 minutes to play. Oostende's 6-game winning streak is dangling by a thread. Their chances perhaps of making the next stage dangling by a thread as well. It is Bouva's biggest performance of the season. He's up to 23 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals and a block. £10 the gap with 2 minutes to play. Filou getting inside and scoring straight away. A big basket, taking limited time off the clock as well. 8 points the gap. Prezi. Oostende desperate for defensive stops right now. Bouva battling to receive the ball and does up against Jurisic. They'll cling on to it and take those precious seconds away from Oostende. Shot clock down to the final few seconds. 3-point shot will go. It's a Besiktas dagger to the Oostende Hearts. Lead up to 11. That should just about do it. And it's a long, long way back from here. Especially after the turnover as they go for the quick score, and Williams throws it out of bounds. Again, they hit them hard right at the end of the shot clock. Oostende will be punished for all of those turnovers. I make it their 18th now. I don't think that count is updated. 11 for his team, so 7 fewer. And Oostende's incredible run, their remarkable run, looks to have run out of steam. Bouva misses. Final minute, they're down by 11 though. Filou thought about the 3, moves it on to Williams. Hung into Jurisic in traffic and a foul on Rich. So a couple of free throws for Nemanja Jurisic, who hasn't had it anywhere near as easy in the second half as he had it in the first. He's had to battle for his points and really earn everything. And there has been a tightening of the Besiktas defense, particularly in this fourth quarter. There's been a tightening of both defenses. It's only 10-10 here in the fourth, but that massive third quarter looks to have been enough for Besiktas as they scored 30 points in the third quarter and opened up a 15-point gap. Jurisic is up to 19. In fact, make it 20 now for Nemanja Jurisic. Besiktas allowed to handle the ball and to take seconds away. Rich will fire a 3 again, misses it. They need to grab the rebound and they do get the possession, just 30 seconds remaining, but down by 9. His team could be out of the top 4. His team are so close to being in the playoffs. The videos are going to the monitor to have a look at this out of bounds call by the looks of it. Strasbourg play Bologna later on tonight. It is going to be Besiktas ball. Neptunas play Prometheus tomorrow. If either one of those two teams wins their games, they will jump ahead of Oostende and into the top 4 with just 1 game to play. It looks like they're slipping at one of the final hurdles. Prezi, another 3. Wouldn't go this time. Although Bouver grabs another rebound and makes sure the final possession perhaps will rest with Besiktas. There's only a 1.5 second differential. A big night for Jason Rich as well. And they'll just cling on to it here. Up by 9 points, Besiktas, and run down the clock. The two coaches shake hands. It's 5 straight wins for Besiktas, who look to be playoff bound as they end the 6-game winning streak of Oostende and perhaps put an end to their chances of making the postseason. Besiktas win it in Istanbul by 9 points in the end, 80-71. And 2 massive performances for the home team, as Rich and Bouver combined for 47 of their 80 points. They shot 43% from the outside, which was a big difference maker. Oostende just 27%. So 5 more 3-pointers for Besiktas. And they were able to get close to matching Oostende in that offensive rebounding count, which had been 113 when these two last met. Oostende punished for 6 extra turnovers through the course of the 40 minutes. And it looks as though Besiktas are marching on to the playoffs for a 3rd straight season in the Basketball Champions League, led by the 24 points of Jason Rich, 23 for Ivan Bouver as well, who had 7 rebounds. And Phil Prezi with 10 assists. Didn't get a point in the game, but he conjured up 10 assists with 3 turnovers. And also led the way with 3 steals. And as Jurisic 20 for Oostende came in defeat. They also had 12 from TJ Williams, and Benzing with 12 for Besiktas. A really good night's entertainment in Istanbul. And the fans departing now got the result they wanted despite a fairly slow start. Oostende won the first quarter by 5 points, went up by as many as 8. Besiktas did show a retaliation of sorts in the second quarter with 27 points to Oostende's 21, but it was the third quarter that really made the difference with 30 points. Those middle 2 quarters of the game, Besiktas had 57. The other 2 quarters, they only had 23, so the damage was done in the middle of this game, either side of half-time for the home team. And that 15-point margin they were able to build in the third quarter, too hard to overcome, despite the best efforts of Oostende. With a little run towards the end of the third quarter and at the start of the fourth, they got back within 4 or 5, but that was as close as they got. Jason Rich finishing 6 of 8 from downtown. He hit his first 6, then missed his last 2. 8 of 12 from the field altogether for his game-high 24 points, his second best tally of the season so far. He had 5 rebounds as well. And defense really tight in the second half as Oostende struggled to score, and Bouver, what a game he had on the inside. 23 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals and a block. An efficiency rating of 29 for Ivan Buva, his best game of the season. He was 9 of 15 from the field, 5 of 6 from the line. Jurisic with that big finish there off the nice pass from Filou. Led the way for Oostende with 20. He was 7 of 10 from the field, 6 of 7 from the line, as well as 4 rebounds and a couple of assists, but ends up on the losing side. Robin Benzing, the other Besiktas player, in double digits with 12 points, 3 of 9 from the field, 5 of 6 from the line, but hit this huge shot down the stretch when Besiktas was struggling to score, and Oostende were breathing down their necks. Almost the turnover, then almost the shot clock violation as well, and he gets the high fives from the bench. That perhaps the defining shot down the stretch of this one. And Oostende struggled to pick themselves back up after that. Besiktas burst away into a double-digit lead again. Ended up winning it by 9, and they move into second place now at 8 and 5. Oostende will fall out of the top 4 with just 1 game to play if Neptunas or Strasbourg win later tonight and tomorrow. From me, Tim Long, it's been an absolute pleasure having your company for this one here on game day 13 of the Basketball Champions League regular season in Istanbul. We'll see you next time.